Hey there, I'm Bree Stockwell, and this is The Complete Creative, the podcast for passionate creatives and visionaries who want it all: meaningful work, epic ideas, and a beautiful life. Around here, we ditch the hustle, get intentional, and make space for success that actually feels good. Well, hey everyone. Welcome back. Listen, I'm going to get right to it today because I feel super spicy and I'm not sure why that is. Maybe because I'm back in Texas. I don't think it is, but maybe it's because I am wearing my cheetah print silk scarf in my hair. So I feel maybe it makes me feel a little spicy. Either way, I think this episode is in response to an Instagram post I actually just made. So, in my human design, I think in my last episode, I talked about human design. In my human design, I'm a responder, whatever that is. I'm still learning a lot. But what I've noticed is that I work well when I respond to things. Like if I create an Instagram post, I might respond by thinking I want to say more about it. So here we are today. So this episode is for creatives, creative visionaries, creative professionals, entrepreneurs who want more. Like you're like, I want more. And you want more without giving up what matters most in the process of getting more. And I call this success without sacrifice. And I'm here to tell you, and this is my spicy take on it, this is the new creative standard. This is the standard. And in fact, let me pick up my phone for a second. I don't usually do this, but I want to read a little bit of what I wrote in my Instagram post because I think you'll get it a little bit more when I say this. So I say there, I said it. I didn't just make this up. More and more creatives and creative professionals are asking for more money and getting it, taking more time for rest, meditation, stillness, prioritizing their mental health, maintaining and elevating personal relationships. Obviously, there's more, but I am seeing more and more of you doing this, and I'm hopeful. And I want to say, and I say it's the new standard because I believe that it is. That if you aren't prioritizing things that matter most to you, I'm going to say it, you're not meeting the standard. So come on. If you want more, but you don't want to sacrifice the important things, this episode is for you. So today I'm challenging the belief that success requires sacrifice. This idea of success without sacrifice is absolutely the new normal. So if you've ever felt like in order to build your dream, to achieve your vision, that something important had to be traded, like a sacrifice to the gods of creativity, like your health, your time, your creativity, even, or we'll talk about that in a minute, or your peace. Let's go. So I want to tell you a little bit about how this idea for me came about. And I mean, I'm saying it's the new normal because a lot of people are beginning to believe the same things, like it's a movement. If I believe it, then there are lots more people who do. So for many years, I have always believed that working harder gets you the success, like that you have to sacrifice time. It has to be hard, all of those things. And I don't want to necessarily say that I was wrong because many people have achieved success doing this. Like I saw my dad, I'm going to classify him as a workaholic. And he put in a lot of hard work and time. and he sacrificed sleep. And he also sacrificed his relationship with us as a family because he was working so hard to make his business work, to earn money. And I think in the past that has been for me personally, and I know for a lot of other people, I think it's generational, that we've adopted the belief that we have to work hard and sacrifice to get what we want. I have never been the one to push myself to overwhelm or burnout because I've always been afraid of it. I'm like, I can't have the success I want because if I go all in, I'll burn out. I'll sacrifice something. Like I never wanted to sacrifice my relationship with my family or my kids. I never wanted to be so hyper focused on the dream, on the vision, that I couldn't pay attention to anything else. And that's why actually I feel personally, maybe my friends and my family won't think this, but I feel like I stayed small for a long time. I mean, I was doing things, but I do believe that I played small for a long time because I think I believe to go large, to play big, it had to be hard work. So my shift here, and this has been maybe the past 5 years, is that I am now choosing to believe that effort, work, can be aligned and not exhausting. It doesn't have to be perfect, but I can make conscious decisions that prioritize the things that matter most and still get what I want. Like, I want a really great marriage. I want the most beautiful marriage. I think I have that. I want a great relationship with my kids. I think I have that. And I'm interested in having an even better relationship. And I can have that while building my business, while focusing on my creativity and my creative work. And I know you're going to be like, well, Bree, that's because you don't have any kids at home. Yeah, probably it's easier. But also, we can do this if we do have kids. Like, whatever is going on for us, we can have what we want without the sacrifice, without giving up something that's also important to us. It might take longer, sure. But like at the end of the day, it's my relationship with myself and with the people around me, my friends, my family, with you. Those are what make life important. So I'm not the perfect picture of this. I want you to know this. This is work, WIP, work in progress. It is a constant flow of having the vision, aligning our energy, anchoring in our identity, designing our life for them, time, whatever, and then coming back to our vision to clarify once we understand those things. It's like it's cyclical. I'm going to talk more about that, those 4 parts in the next episode. So stay tuned if that was really interesting to you. Spoiler alert. So that is my work, is focusing on those 4 things and continuing to cycle around and recalibrating with each loop of it. So one of the reasons I feel very spicy that I feel very spicy about this topic is because I see some of the sacrifices that you all are making. I want to tell you about a conversation I had with an entrepreneur recently at a networking event. And she and I were chatting, and we were chatting about each other's businesses as one does at a networking event. I mean, that is part of it. We talked about her business. And then when she asked me about mine, I mentioned what I do and that this is the work that I do is that I help creative visionaries have the success they want without sacrificing what matters most. And she visibly, it was like her whole body just like dropped. And she was like, oh, yeah, that's really needed. And I felt this internal pull to ask her this question. And I just looked at her and I asked, so what are you sacrificing right now? And she didn't even hesitate. And it was very solemn because you could see she felt sad about it. And she just looked at me and she said, my kids. And I like wanted to hug her and I wanted to cry with her and I wanted to sit with her and say, let's solve all your problems, right? That's not necessarily my job in the moment, but I felt so much compassion for her and her kids that she feels that she's sacrificing her relationship or her time with her kids and what her kids need from her and with her for her business. Some of the things I see you all sacrificing are, and we just talked about relationships, but like romantic relationships, friendships, relationships with family, kids. Oh my gosh, y'all are sacrificing sleep. Nod if this is you, that you are sacrificing sleep. Yeah. Sleep, rest, stillness. Are you sacrificing that important time to either have a mental rest to be in the void or actually just get physical rest to replenish your energy? Are you sacrificing your own creativity because you think, I have to put out work that doesn't feel aligned for me in exchange for money? I don't think that's necessarily true. Are you sacrificing the authenticity of your work? Are you afraid of what's going to happen when you shift? You make a change? It's risky sometimes, isn't it? Doesn't it feel like that? Are you sacrificing money? Are you afraid of charging more? Are you afraid of what other people will think? Do you have self doubt about how much that you can make? How much cash are you willing to ask for in exchange for what you do? And this isn't a problem, by the way, if you are thinking this and you want that. Like, I just want to put out beautiful work into the world. And like, if I get paid, that's great. Y'all, it's time to get paid. I just had a conversation with a friend of mine. I'm in a group with a few photographers and some of them YouTube. And my friend was like, yeah, more and more people are asking to get paid. And I'm like, yes, that's how I know this is the new standard, is getting paid, not just like being the starving artist. Yeah, you want to get paid for what you do and you want to get paid more. So, how can you do that without sacrificing your time, your mental health, all that stuff? So, what does success without sacrifice actually look like? Like we talked about what you could be sacrificing. So, what does this look like? Well, for me, it looks like daily non negotiables. So, I 1000% take my walk. Like, no matter what I'm doing, I always take my walk. I have actually learned to do that this year in the process of recalibrating. I just told you about the cycle that I go through. I recalibrate and every time I'm like, okay, what now? Like what needs tweaking here? And so I know that every day I need to move my body by walking. And so I actually don't sacrifice that. I do not sacrifice my rest. I will happily go to bed early and I do important things to prepare my body for sleep because that to me is a huge deal, right? Like moving your body, this is so important physically, moving your body, rest, and feeding your body good food, right? Another daily non negotiable are my relationships. I never want to be so focused on what I'm doing that I haven't taken at least a few minutes to pay attention, to give attention to my husband and connect with him and connect with one of my kids or my friends or someone else. Like my relationships are super important to me. And so that can just take a short time. I can even do that on my walk. Like I have a walk literally called the connection walk. Another thing I do is I understand my energy levels versus the time that I have. Because I know that pushing myself beyond the energy that I have is like a recipe for burnout. So, really understanding where my energy goes is a huge deal for me. Side note, if you want to understand your own energy, I have an AI tool called, and it's called an energy audit. It's not even a fancy name. And you can get access to it when you join my program called Focus and Flow. I'll put the link in the notes. I believe that understanding your energy and refocusing is such huge work that I offer a 30-day program on it. So if you have never worked with me before, this actually is a great introduction to working with a coach. My clients that are in this program, I'm seeing some major transformations, and we're not even doing face to face coaching. It's all on a messaging app using your energy audit results, and it's kind of spectacular. So, okay, that's all I'll say about that. So, another way this looks like for me is staying true to my vision. Even I wrote down in my notes, like, even if it feels delusional. So, I did an episode with an artist. Her name is Hannah Suchi. We talked about how Delulu is the Salulu. It truly is. Because when you stay true to your vision, then a lot of other things come into alignment. Also, when you have success without sacrifice, it's not about perfection, like making all the parts of your life perfect. This is about making all the parts intentional. So the thought shift here is, and this is part of my own personal work, is that especially when it comes to like more time equals more success, the idea of sacrifice and also success, but the idea of sacrifice, it's in our minds. We get to create what sacrifice means, and it is a belief, and it's not a requirement that we sacrifice anything. If I came to this podcast to record and I was like, ugh, I'm sacrificing XYZ for it, it's going to feel a lot harder. So, why would I do that? I want to intentionally come to record this podcast episode with, I am excited to tell you about this. This is exactly what I want to be doing right now. That's what I believe. It is exactly what I want to be doing. And guess what? Later, I'm going to go have dinner with a friend. I'm not sacrificing anything right now. Some myths that have led some of you to believe that you have to sacrifice are you have to hustle to succeed. Okay, so I love Alex Hormozy. I think he has a lot to offer, but sometimes I listen to his podcast and I will turn it off because he's like, he just did one. Sorry, Alex. He just did one that was talking about all the different ways that you could save time to focus on your business. And one of them was like not cooking. And I'm like, dang, I love cooking. I like the meditative practice of deciding what to eat and standing over my pan and stirring. Like there's creativity there. And it's a time that my brain gets to rest. And so you do not have to hustle to get what you want. In fact, non hustling is part of the process to success because if we don't have rest, it is an easy road to burnout. And you get to create success the way that you want to. So, another myth that some of you have is there's not enough time. Like, I literally don't have enough time to create it. Now, you might be having a full time job and trying to build something on the side. You may have young kids that you are shepherding through the growth process. I know I did for a long time. For whatever reason you are thinking there's not enough time, I'm telling you, it's not true. That you can get more done with aligned energy, and that will give you less strain, and that will give you the success that you want. Lately, I've been hearing a lot about energy. Like my friend posted on his Facebook, he was like, energy is your most important resource. Even Taylor Swift says so, y'all. Energy is your greatest resource, not time. There's always enough time. Another myth is you have to trade creativity for money. Like, I get it. This is where the idea of selling out comes in. Like, you made something and you traded it for money, and it was maybe that one was a wild success. So now you feel like you always have to do that. I think that's false. And here's the thing is you can keep making those and do other creative work for yourself. It's not an either or. It's all about what you choose to spend your time and your energy on and how you think about it. Remember, the idea of sacrifice, it lives in our minds. So to close up this episode, I want to leave you with a couple of questions as prompts that you could journal on if you want to, because I think this is really important, especially now if you've listened to all of this and you're like, this idea is interesting. I want to dig into this more. So here are some questions for you to consider. What are you unconsciously sacrificing for your version of success? What are you currently feeling like you're sacrificing? And if you believed success could feel good, because sacrifice doesn't feel good, but you can have success you want and it can feel good. If you believed that was possible, what would change? Like, what would shift? Yeah, I actually really hope that you consider the answers to these questions, because when you do, you will discover how you're currently feeling, like what sacrifice means to you and how you're currently doing that. And I would just question it. What if I wasn't sacrificing anything? Or what if I didn't sacrifice anything? What are the things that matter most to me? And what if I never had to sacrifice those things? And if this message of this whole podcast episode resonated with you, this is the kind of work that I do with my clients. I help creative visionaries create aligned success without losing what matters most. You don't have to. You've never had to. If you're ready to do that work, I'm inviting you to come explore what it's like to work with me. Last, I'm inviting you to my free workshop, AI for Creatives, Harness the Tech Without Losing Your Soul. It's going to be on Friday, October 24th at 1:30 p.m. Central Standard Time. You just have to register, and I'll send you all the information. It's going to be over Zoom. It's going to be live, 30 minutes with a short Q&A afterwards. And here's the thing. If you are a creative that is AI curious and hasn't been sure how to work with it, or if it will suck all the creativity from you, that is not true. It doesn't have to be the case. So I'm going to show you how you can use it in a way that becomes like your creative sidekick and not like your soul sucking overlord. We're going to talk about ways you can use it. I'm going to teach you a really powerful tool that I use to train AI on how to speak in my own voice so that it becomes like an assistant who knows me. And I'm going to give you a PDF. If you are registered for the workshop, I will send you a PDF so you can plug it into chat and create your own tool. And you'll get access to the replay, but I'll put a link to the registration in the notes. Okay, that's it. Honestly, I want you to believe this. Success without sacrifice, without sacrificing what matters most to you in your life, is the new standard. It is the new normal. So come join me. Come join me in the space where we don't have to hustle and we have beautiful relationships and we get all the rest we need and we make money. All right, that's it, friends. I will chat with you next time.